Oops. Hit the wrong thing.
I want to dance.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
1 0 1 0.
All right, we good. Yo, what to do, GG Nation, GG Legion. It's your fella again, StraussMan, the GG. We promised to you this a while ago that we were going to do all 3 of the DLC separate, but we decided, since they were so short, that we just combine them all. We're going to do them all from our best memory. And normally on the podcast, guys, you know how I am. Or the Spoilercast, I usually type out the outline. I usually have an outline. We're kind of just gonna have to wing it here. I didn't type anything up. We're just gonna go off our best memory. Not the biggest panel today, but I got my beautiful cousin that I love so much, JJ, with me. How you doing, JJ?
What up, though? I'm good.
What it do? He beat. You saw us beat it Friday night, guys, when we live stream. You guys hung out with me. That 2.5, 3 hours we beat the game. JJ beat it, I think, yesterday. Yesterday, JJ. So it should be pretty recent in his mind. We're gonna talk about. This is the rundown. We're gonna do the first DLC, second DLC, third DLC, and then we're gonna talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and what we want to see from Spider-Man 2. And seriously, normally we do non-spoiler, then spoiler. This is all straight spoilers, guys. You have been warned. Straight up, we're just going to spoil everything. We're just going to get right into it. But first of all, I want to start out by asking JJ, what was your favorite DLC out of the 3?
Oh, man. I like the way the second one ended. But I think the third one's my favorite.
Third one was your favorite?
Yeah.
My favorite one is a little bit biased. It's Black Cat. It was the first one for me. Absolutely love that one. Always will love that one. If the audio is a little low, guys, it's because we're doing a spoiler cast and we're talking. I don't want really the game audio to overshadow us at all. But my favorite one was the Heist Black Cat DLC. Absolutely loved the interaction between the 2 characters. Black Cat was awesome in this. And it left a big impression on me when I beat that DLC. I was like, okay. Because I thought the DLC was going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was. It ended up being a lot shorter. They're really kind of bite-sized. How'd you feel about each campaign's length, JJ? Was it what you wanted? Was it a little too short? Or just right?
I liked it. I liked that it was, because you just played, what, a 20-hour game? I mean, I didn't do them right away.
We played more than that. We probably put, what, like 50 hours to platinum this thing?
But to, you do all that, and then, to do everything. I 100%ed every DLC, so to do everything, it was...
Yeah, it took a little while. You're right. It wasn't...
It took me about 5 hours, 6 hours to do it. So,
yeah, each one.
Yeah, so I liked it. I mean, you do all 3 of them at once, like most people probably will. You'll fly.
To be honest with you, the first one, it didn't bother me so much because Red Dead was coming out. So, like, Red Dead came out like 3 days after it. So I was like, all right, this is perfect size for me, so I could just get where I need to be. Beat it and get where I needed to be. The other 2, I kind of wanted a little bit more, because the second one kind of just ended. It ended great. It was a great cliffhanger, but it just kind of ended. I was like, oh, shit. Like, I remember Joel in the comment section was like, holy shit, this escalated quickly, with Yuri killing Hammerhead, quote unquote. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, holy shit. And then it just kind of ends there. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, because I ended up doing that one in 2 streams because I decided to take a break. After the first stream. But the third one, I just went right into it. But let's start with the heist and talk about what we thought of the heist, the opening chapter of the City Never Sleeps DLC, which is the whole campaign, basically. That's basically the best way to describe the DLC, because it's like, it's 3 chapters, and
Dad?
each one has their own distinct name. I thought originally the Heist DLC and what was the second one called? Turf Wars, and the third one, Silver Lining. I thought they were going to be a little bit bigger, especially hearing Brian on the podcast talk about it. He seemed like it was going to be a little bit bigger, give you a little bit more what you want. But in reality, it's really just kind of like an appetizer. Like the main game is so fulfilling. Like, it's such a great story. Like, the cake is complete. You can't add any more toppings to the cake. Where these 3 DLCs, they kind of try to do that. They just kind of add more to the cake. Like, the cake's already good, but it's not, like, each DLC by itself, in my personal opinion, isn't like the biggest, greatest story ever. But together, that's why I think a lot of our friends and a lot of people are waiting to play all 3 in one swoop, is a much better idea, in my personal opinion. I think that's the point of it, because, the first one ends up, Black Cat gets blown up, so it ends in a big cliffhanger for that. Siri, sorry. Don't listen to me. Ugh.
Hey Siri.
She can't hear you, JJ, but but it's very, do you know what I mean? Like, do you agree with that anyway? Do you feel like, I think it's a better experience if you play like all of them together right from the get-go.
You play them all back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a full story. It's another what, 15-hour, well, I'd say 6 to 15 chapter, but
you mean like each
of its own.
You mean each DLC or all together?
The 3 DLCs are one. It's a whole story.
Yeah, hence the city that never sleeps. Yeah, it's the whole overarching story. Because that's what there is. Like, Hammerhead's the main boss, and that's like the overarching story of it.
Yeah.
But continue.
So it's a whole nother, so it's a whole nother chapter. I mean, you got another, 6? If you just do the story mission, I think it could take you under 2 hours. But
yeah, each campaign's about 2 hours. Like you said, if you want to do everything 100% it, get the extra costume, it is probably going to take you combined probably 15 to 16 probably, I would say.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I enjoyed the Spider-Man game. I enjoyed the Spider-Man game, and the DLC it's kind of what you want, man. It kept you coming back. Yeah,
it was, and they each had their own kind of right difficulty. So let's get into the heist spoilers. I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna, get right into Black Cat and the baby in the room. Like, were you suckered into that? Like, did you really believe that?
Not really.
Yeah, because of Black Cat's character. But go ahead.
Yeah, for a second, you kind of like, oh, maybe, but then you're like, nah.
That's kind of how I felt too, because I love the chemistry between the two. And shout out to the voice actress that plays her. She has such great vocal range. A lot of you guys didn't know, but she plays Futaba in Persona 5, and it's completely different voice. Then she actually really sounds like Black Cat in this, and it's really, really done well. And their performance together really, is really done well in my personal opinion. I really feel like that's Black Cat and Spider-Man in the comics / animated 90s TV show. They were really fed. They really fed off each other really, really well in my personal opinion. How'd you feel between the characterization of Black Cat and Spider-Man and everything and so forth?
Oh, the chemistry's definitely there, but she's just a flirt, man.
Yeah.
Huge.
What's up, Joel? How you doing? Welcome to the Spoilercast.
She's a very intense personality, and she is fun to fuck with, man.
And she has a great set of tits and ass. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put it out there.
Well, you're not wrong.
But yeah, that's what I liked about it, the performance the most, because it really felt like Black Cat, because she really was a big tease. She was, you know, this whole time he's trying not to fall with it, you know, fall for it, but he cares for her, and he thinks he can help her. Like, he really wants to help her from her demons, but she can't really get over her demons in a lot of ways.
She's doing the mission about her dad and everything, and out. You know, if you paid it, I watched a lot of the animated series. I'm sure a lot of you folks, so you I knew her dad was that, but for them to incorporate it, it was pretty cool. Yeah, but the whole baby storyline was pretty crazy.
Yeah, at first it really threw me for a loop. I was like, whoa, wait, and then I'm like, hold up, this is Black Cat, this is bullshit.
Yeah, she's lying.
And it was really interesting, his conversation with MJ. You know, like, like, she's like, oh, could it be yours? And, you know, it was a really interesting, and we're going to talk more about MJ in the third one, you know, because it kind of leads off to something unexpected, in my opinion, with MJ, but we'll get there in a moment. But this is why I really enjoyed the first DLC the most, because the interaction between the two and this this chase of just trying to get to her, like, damn it, will you just hold up, like, a little bit, like, you know, and she won't, she just keeps going, and he really wants to help her from Hammerhead, but she's like, nah, bruh, it's a lost cause, like, don't do it. Then it ends up being a bigger story than it is.
What are you trying to get him to do?
How'd you feel about the screwball missions in each one?
They were tedious a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I had fun with a few of them, but some of them were just like the third one. I got going, man.
You said you got in a nice groove there.
Yeah, but you know they were tedious. You know they couldn't use Taskmaster anymore, so that's basically what it was.
Were you a little bummed out that he no one else kind of made an appearance? They hinted at some other people. You know, he hints at Captain America a couple times, which is really cool.
Yeah. I didn't mind it. It'd be nice. I mean, they're setting up some pretty big things.
Yeah, they're definitely, like I said, like, there's already enough toppings on the cake. They're kind of, in my personal opinion, they're just adding to the cake.
Well, they're setting up the second game pretty good. You know, you got the Yuri storyline, which we'll get to, and obviously the end of the game with the Venoms.
I agree 100%. Do you really feel like, though, you need to have this info for the next game? Or, because I think a lot of people are just going to play the regular experience. Because a lot of our friends, that's why it's just you and me. You know, Steve hasn't even touched it yet. He personally said he was going to wait. And a lot of people told me that too. They're like, "Oh, we're just gonna wait because it's so short." And
I think those. I mean, you should play it, man. It's fun and it's fun. You know, to get out of it for a little bit. You stop playing Spider-Man for a little bit. You get to be Spider-Man again, and it's one of the most well-made. I mean, then a lot of. I mean, they pay a lot of homage to the old Spider-Man. I mean, you can really relive Spider-Man 2 through this game. They gave you
in a lot of ways,
They gave you the Sam
especially
Raimi
with
costume.
the Raimi suit now.
Yeah, so you can.
I won.
So you can play the Sam Raimi. Good job, man.
Good job, Maximus. You won at Fortnite.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I think you should play it. I mean, just some of the crazy. I mean, just to even throw out that Peter could be a dad to Black Cat's baby is crazy.
Yeah, because this is such a different Peter than we know, which I like. You know. Even with you and me bullshitting yesterday a little bit, you know, I was looking through the ages at people and, like, you know, like Silver Sable's like 36 and Black Cat's, that is JJ. That is JJ, Joel. He's the only one that was able to join me for the Spoilercast. We're going to do another podcast before the end of the year. Thinking Sunday. Thinking Sunday, maybe Monday. I don't know when JJ goes. When do you go back to work, JJ?
Midnight, for sure.
Okay.
I got Tuesday.
I'm going to try to get Chad and Steve on there. We're going to talk about our favorites of the year, of anything, of all things. It's not video games, it's everything. And, but back to your point, it's just the extra tidbit. They give you more of that what you want. Like you hear a lot more, and the characters are so integrated well into it that I feel like it is worth the experience. But maybe my personal opinion is just get it all in one go. JJ and I were very lucky. JJ got the PS4 Pro as a gift from his mother, and the Spider-Man one anyway. And it came with the DLC already. Since JJ and I game share, I got the DLC as well, so we got to play it right away. But I really do think it was kind of a bummer having to wait a month each month. I think playing all three together is a better thing. So I think a lot of people that did that waited, you were really smart. I would say pick it up. If you really enjoy this game, definitely pick it up, because there's some nice tidbits and nice hints, because it's not before the game or in the middle of the game. It is after the game. This is everything after the events of the main game. This is a direct continuation. It's almost Spider-Man 1.5 in a lot of ways. You know, all the events really happened. All those big tragedies we talked about in the Spoilercast, everything happened. And it's a continuation. And, you know, Spider-Man's just trying to get back in his life with, Peter's trying to get back to his life with MJ. And this MJ is so different because she works at the Bugle, and she's more independent in a lot of ways.
Yeah, oh yeah. Mary Jane is, they made her very strong, independent. I like the direction they took Mary Jane. I think we talked about that before, though.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like those missions, but I actually really liked the MJ missions a lot. I thought they were really fun. And you actually get to play as her again in the Black Heist DLC a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a tiny smudge.
Yeah. She was very... She wasn't jealous, but, finding out that Peter had a thing with Black Cat and how that was... Because she didn't really seem like she was jealous.
In my personal opinion, she was. She totally was. Their whole banter, even the Silver Sable, we'll get to. She's like, oh, you're working. Well, so you are working together. And it's really interesting. It's really great that they found their love again. Like, they found their love again. And they're really trying to make it work, much as possible. But now they're kind of... We'll get into the spoiler territory with Silver Sable in the third DLC, but Mary Jane is the new Lois Lane. Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah. I can kind of see that, Joel, in some ways, but she's a lot more crazier than Lois Lane is, I would say, because this girl puts herself in ridiculous danger. I guess Lois Lane kind of did that in the movies, but let's not talk about Batman vs. Superman. But, it's really good. Did you like the ending of the heist, personally? The big explosion, Black Cat dead, oh my god, she's dead.
I would say of the three, it was the least memorable, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, the ending-wise, yeah. I think ending-wise, because I knew, 1,000% she wasn't dead. Like, no way.
Yeah.
She wasn't dead. I was a little bummed out I didn't get to fight Hammerhead. I was like, shit. I gotta wait.
I
gotta wait till the next DLC. But that was a decent enough cliffhanger to keep me going. I was gonna come back anyway because I'm a little, we love this game. JJ and I hugely admire this game. We were super disappointed when it became Horizon Zero Dawn at the Game Awards this year. Didn't take home anything, no hardware at all, and it very much deserves so. But again, it's still a little behind the other two big juggernauts, and that's God of War and obviously Red Dead Redemption 2. Those two, sandwiched in between those two, it's hard for this game to shine as much. But it is a great game. It is very solid. But as I said in the spoiler cast of the first one with you and Steve, this is just the building block. This is very much Uncharted 1 in my personal opinion. It's a great story, but it's just the beginning. It's not there yet. We don't have our Uncharted 2, and I feel like Spider-Man 2 is going to be very much like Uncharted 2, guaranteed Game of the Year winner, no fucking question. I know that's lofty expectations, Insomniac. Don't hold me to that. That's just my belief in how the hard work and the effort you guys put in for 3 years for this game. I could only imagine what you can do if you had a little bit more time and, you know, PS5 are right around the corner. I say second year of PS5, Spider-Man 2 is probably hitting. I think easy. But
Yeah.
the end, I agree with you. The ending's very lackluster in a lot of ways, very anticlimactic. Like, I knew, like, some BS was going to go down, but it is my favorite banter is between those two. Every scene where they're very flirty and they fought with each other. Well, fought together, not with each other. Fought together to beat the shit out of... It was very much like a ballet in a lot of ways. She would jump in and kick somebody in the air for you so you could web them down and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, those missions were fun that you did with her. So I had a lot of fun with those. They do have very good banter together. I do.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to see with the first one?
No,
Anticlimactic as hell, yeah, Joe. You just want to go straight into the second one.
Yeah, the first one was...
Again, the beginning of the story.
With them killing Aunt May, they could go anywhere, but I never really thought Black Cat was dead, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't feel like... And to be honest, I don't really feel a lot of weight or expectations, but a lot of weight in this as compared to the main... Like I said, the main story is really fucking well done. Like, it is incredibly well done. They didn't hold back. They didn't pull any punches. It's a very different Spider-Man that we know. Very different world, very different MJ, very different Peter. Peter being much older, not being a kid, you know, actually having sex. Not being a 15-year-old, you know, him being in a relationship with, you know, Mary Jane in the past, him trying to rekindle the flame in a lot of ways. You know, it's a really sweet moment in a lot, like, it's really sweet, and it's really cool, and you really want it to happen, you know, and you just wish she would stop being a hater. and not take things so at least for me, I think she took things way too personal in some aspects, because she felt like he was holding her back in some ways, or being too protective and stuff. But he just cares, you know, he just cares. That's kind of Peter's...
Well, she was tired of being the damsel in distress, man.
Yeah, and it's kind of Peter's, you know, thing. That's his problem. He thinks he can help everyone. In reality, you need to kind of just leave people the fuck alone and let them figure out their own, you know? Yeah, but it's tough when, you know, you have a previous relationship with that particular person.
Oh, yeah, he just wants her to be safe, and he wouldn't...
Yeah, you know, he really cares for her. You know, she wants to be his partner in crime, you know. Yeah. She wants to be there with him. And he doesn't want that, and I really like that. But let's go right into the second one. He couldn't even help Uncle Ben. Well, that was his younger days when he was a dumb kid and he didn't realize what he was doing. And that's kind of, you know, the lesson he learns from Uncle Ben's death, you know, like, you know, the words we've heard a bajillion fucking times with Spider-Man, Joel. But I like that already happened, you know, you didn't need to. But to kill both of them off is pretty fucking huge. Is really significant in that last one. But let's get into the second one with Yuri. We get to see our favorite cop in crime back, Yuri, and she kind of feels a lot of weight. Like, what happens, JJ? Go ahead and explain it if you can remember.
She goes off the deep end, man. She's tired of...
In the third one, yes, but this is the stepping stone.
First one,
this is definitely the stepping stone of her kind of losing it a little bit. Because what happens in the beginning?
Dad.
I don't remember, Levi.
You don't remember? Okay, I'll bring it. Her whole staff, her whole regiment dies. And it's her fault. Hammerhead kills all of them. Like, just kills all of them. And, you know, Man Spider gets there really late. Remember the watch? Like, oh, this is my son gave me this for my birthday. And she got really upset about that, you know, that he'll never see his son again because, you know, he's dead, you know. He's murdered. You know, and that was pretty heavy. That was pretty heavy to start to say. The second one is very much a more hectic and somber and sad tone. Where the first one was a lot of fun. The first one was like, oh, this is Black Cat, we're having fun. I'm chasing that booty, Where this one, it's like, holy shit, Yuri, you need to chill out a little bit. I know you lost your whole staff, but it's not completely your fault. It is in a way, but she kind of, she kind of just loses it, like you said. She just kind of, she kind of doesn't handle things well, and we find out that in real life she kind of never did. If you guys know Yuri from the comics, they're kind of heading that route that I'm kind of excited that they are going that route. But it's really, really interesting. And then we finally get to see Hammerhead. So what was your impression of Hammerhead, and did you like him in this universe?
I did. I just wasn't expecting him to be like that.
I be RoboCop?
It was crazy. 'Cause I always picture him as the, for whatever reason, the mobster in the pinstripe suit.
Yep. Kind of, like not really being a joke character, but kind of just being a secondary character, not being a real bad guy.
The main guy.
Yeah, like
he's always working for somebody.
Yeah, it was really cool to see him get some spotlight in this, and going a little deep, not wasting. I shouldn't say wasting, but not like putting like Venom or something or Carnage in this DLC, or keeping it a nice character that a lot of people might not know if you're not into Spider-Man, and give him some light and put a nice spin on him to make him like an asshole, and see how he and his biggest goal was to kind of just ruin all the mob families, like kill off all the, take all the money, kill all the mob families, put a lot of pressure on people and debt and stuff like that. It was really fun. It was really, really well done, in my opinion. How'd you like the boss fight at the end, though?
I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty fun. Boss fights tend to get a little repetitive in these kind of games, where it's do this, and this will happen. But I thought this one was pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So you like the second one a lot. I thought for me it'd be Heist is my favorite, Silver Lining, and then this one.
I thought this one was better than, like I said, I thought this one was better than the third one, because the third one was kind of repetitive, Grab the bomb, hold him down so she can shoot the laser at him. Boss fight wise, I'm talking about overall. Overall for me, but boss fight wise, I agree. This one was really cool, and how's it end, JJ? What the hell does Yuri do? Yuri shoots dude in the face.
And I was so blown away by that. And if Joel, you remember, Joel, you were like, holy shit, that escalated quickly. I was like, holy fucking did. Like, I was not expecting Yuri to go on the deep end like that.
Yeah,
Hammerhead reminds you of Flat Top. Oh, in a lot of ways, he kind of is that character, Joel. Like, he's just the typical gangster with a hard head.
Yep, he is.
He's just, that's kind of what he is. But I like how they kind of, you got to see him, and why did Yuri hate him so much? Do you remember?
Her dad was in his pocket, man.
Yep.
Her dad worked with them.
Yep, so her dad
he was a dirty
was
cop.
done dirty by him for sure. And we find out in the third game, Yuri actually, goes to therapy a lot. She had a therapist,
Well, yeah, but he then him coming back to life at the end, that was kind of crazy with the paramedic.
I was not expecting that. I was really kind of blown away because I thought he was dead.
Yeah, that one got me.
I really thought he was dead, and I was really blown away that she did that. But I like where she's going, and JJ didn't know where it was going. But the third DLC, it's the hatchet's buried. She is there. She's going there. quickly. And I'm kind of shocked this quickly they're kind of going to that direction. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm trying to remember in Turf Wars, there was more, what's it called, screwball challenges where it was okay. Yeah. I thought they were a little bit better, but a little bit more difficult than the first one. Yeah. I liked the fact that Screwball kind of was a recurring character throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, she was in the main story, and then they brought her back.
Yeah, and she's always kind of been like a side Marvel character villain, which I kind of like, and she fits that role perfectly in this game. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like,
I didn't
straight
mind the
up.
Screwball missions in the second one, but they are harder. The third one was the freaking hardest.
Screwball's annoying for you, Joel? Yeah. Well, that's what she's supposed to be, though. It's really her personality. They really captured it well. Hello to everyone coming into the Spoilercast here. Spoilers, seriously. We're talking about the City That Never Sleeps DLC, all 3 expansions of the Spider-Man universe. I'm still playing this one. We did beat it together. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for all the love, and support on the podcast, guys, and on the channel. Like, the channel's doing so well. The streams are doing so well. The other night on Christmas Eve, I did a 4.5-hour, 5-hour stream. We beat Final Fantasy 15 together. That had like 45 views on it already. Like, thank you so much. Like, you guys really hung out and had a good time with me. While I was being a Grinch and being super annoyed at Final Fantasy 15, but that's another story for another time. Let's not get sidetracked here. The side mission I thought was really interesting in the Hammerhead one. I think it was... no, that was in the first one, right? Where you had to collect You had to collect Felicia's dad's stuff. Yeah. What was the side mission in the second one?
That is a very good question. Hold on.
Screwball's like Squirrel Girl? Hey! Hey, we like Squirrel Girl on this channel, Joel, you son of a bitch. Love you, Joel. She needs to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Or 7.
Take down each hammerhead front. Complete the lockup mission. Maybe it's this one? I don't remember that.
I don't remember, because the DLCs have a similar flow to, what's it called? The main game. Where it's like they teach you how to do this crime mission, they teach you how to do this, and then you kind of move on, and then it kind of goes to a main story mission. Did you like having the same flow at all, JJ?
Oh yeah, it kind of, because like you get out of it for a little bit because you stop playing for like a month. You know, you beat it and then
like it's a nice refresher, because you guys saw how much I died. I'm like, shit, am I really that bad at the game, or has it just been too long?
You learn, lately, you and I, you learn so many mechanics for different games, and they're not all similar.
Yeah.
So, you get back into it, and you're like, well...
Yeah, we played a lot of different games on the channel lately, guys, and you guys know JJ's absolutely right on that. Like, all these games don't play the same. Like, they might have an open world, but they all have their own uniqueness to it. And I really enjoyed these DLCs for sure. Let's get right into the third one. And let's get into the side mission we've been hinting at for the longest time. So it's a continuation of obviously of what the events just happened. We know Hammerhead's alive, but let's get into Yuri a little bit. Yuri, the cop, Spider Cop's best buddy. In reality, she doesn't view him as the same way at all. She's just like, oh, I need you to help me out, but we're not friends. And it kind of bums him out a little bit. He's like, shit. And it really bums him out what she has become. So the side mission in this one, in the third DLC, the Silver Lining DLC, I really enjoyed, was collecting all her clues and finding what she was doing. So her therapist clues. She went to go see a therapist, all these voice recordings, but she knew what was going down. She knew she was being set up.
Yeah. She got that therapist killed.
Yeah, and she ended up getting, another person killed. And she's like, you know what? Fuck it. I can't do this shit anymore. I can't be squeaky clean anymore. And what'd she kind of do, JJ? What'd she end up doing?
She ended up murdering a Maja enforcer and tying him up. Like she put all this tape and everything. She went all out, man. She was
She very sawed it. She saw it. Let's play a game, chat. Let's play a game. You guys saw me do that in a live stream, and I was blown away, but very happy. I was so fucking happy that they're doing Spectre. You know?
Yeah.
Like, or I'm sorry, not Spectre, Wraith. Sorry, Wraith. They're doing Wraith. And they're doing it with Yuri. Yuri in comic books is the third Wraith, or I think her grandpa had it, something like that. They in this storyline, they're going right to it. She's going to be Wraith. She's going to be the next vigilante anti-hero. I don't know if they're going to keep the similar costumes, because her costume kind of looks like Deadpool's a little bit. Like, it's just like a purple version of Deadpool's a little bit, with boobs. But JJ didn't know about Wraith until I talked to him about it. And I'm really excited about this. You know, a lot of people probably don't know, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Simple explanation is Yuri kind of loses it. She kind of wants to do her own Punisher thing. She gives up being the cop because she saw all her men die. She got another one of her men killed. And she's like, you know, in the last tape, she's like, I have to go down this road. There's nothing else to it. And, you know, he calls her and he's like, no, you don't. Yuri, this is really steep for you. I'm going to have to stop you if you go that way. So they're already talking confrontation. And that was a really fun comic book series. Go check it out. I mean, I'm sure you can steal it online digitally. I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying it might be online digitally where you can check it out. Go check out Wraith and Spider-Man's storyline. It's a really fun one. They team up a couple times. And I feel like they'll probably do that in the game, too. Because I feel like he's going to have his Spider-Force buddies eventually. He's going to have some Spider Bros around. Spider Bros. They're really doing... This DLC is continuing the world building. And we'll get to that character last. But are you kind of excited to see Wraith? I know you don't really know that character that much, JJ. Do you feel like...
I don't.
Are you intrigued now with what she did?
I dig Yuri as a character, and I liked how they built her, and I do like where this DLC took her. So I'm excited about they're setting up something big for her, and I'm real excited for it. I don't know I don't know if Spider-Man 2 is going to be the next game or not, but
I think so. I mean, we're going to talk about what I want to see in Spider-Man 2, not just story-wise, but just how to handle the gameplay. Because I as much as I love this game, like, I agree with the rating. It's like an 87, 88 meta critic, and I kind of agree with that. There's a lot of stuff they can do way better. And, you know, Red Dead and God of War proved that easily. But the story itself in this game is amazing. It is really well done. It's like JJ and I said, it's a different Peter Parker. It's a different set of characters. So let's go back to the beginning of the Silver Lining, and what the fuck happens, JJ? Like, what goes down?
The Silver Lining. Oh, that's your
the beginning of it. What happens?
Silver Sable shows up and like.
You have to fight Silver Sable in a boss fight right from the get-go, and she's tough. Yeah. And the Silver Lining DLC in general is it's a harder difficulty than
those guys are
the whole game.
Every one of those bad guys is beefed up, man. They all have their Project Olympus fucking suits on, and Hammerhead is basically just a goddamn head on a robot body. He's the Terminator. Like, when I first saw him, I'm like, how the fuck did they pull this off? I mean, you kind of figure it out as you go through and investigate.
Do you like that opening where you fight Silver like, right from the get-go? I thought that was cool. It was really interesting.
She was one of the toughest boss fights of the game, man.
She kicked your ass, man. Like, you couldn't really combo her. You had to get in and out.
At first, I thought it was going to be easy because you just web her a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, all right, I'll just do that. And then after you do that the first time, you cannot do it again.
Yeah.
It doesn't work a second time.
You can't do it again. Do you feel like we get to know a lot more of Silver Sable? A lot of people kind of like disagree a little bit that that they don't kind of like where they took her Silver Sable and her being justified being angry. But if you miss out, I think a lot of people didn't 100% a lot of these DLCs. You miss out on a lot of storyline if you don't. Like these heists I'm doing, or the hideouts I'm doing right here, they add a lot more to the story. You get to know Silver Sable a lot more through that than anything.
The country's going through a civil war. These dudes are taking all the weapons she's trying to help the people with.
Her parents were pretty much killed in the war as well. So she's just... A lot of people just saw her as a bitch. Just a mean person. And it's very justifiable when you find out. But I too was like, yeah, you could, set her down. We were buddies in the main game for a little bit. Like,
dude, when she gives you that high five, I felt so good.
Dude, I laughed so hard at the moment. So you can even go back to the live stream chat if you guys remember. I was laughing my ass off at that scene where he tries to give her a high five and she's like, no, like, fuck you. I really was shocked because I thought they were going to kill her off at one time. When Hammerhead kidnaps her and you just hear her getting tortured and shit, I'm like, oh man, he turned her into like a robot person or something. But no, it ends up being the team up I always wanted in the main game. Because there's a certain part in the story in the main game where she's like, you know what, I'll cover you out here, you go inside, you deal your business at the end. And I was really sad about that. I was like, fuck! Like, I wanted to team up with her. And we finally got to do that here in this one. So I was very happy and very pleased about seeing her in this and get to see her, like, her like, I don't want to say it's straight like Black Panther, but her story is a lot like Black Panther in some ways. Country, except her country is kind of very poor and it's not doing well, where his country is very rich and he doesn't want to share it, like, his people don't want to share it with the world, where he kind of does, where he doesn't mind. But some similarities were there for sure, but it was really, really fun to see her in this story, and their interaction I really enjoyed too. It was the second best in my opinion, because with Yuri in the second one, she was just kind of, she didn't really change. She was just really pissed the whole time, you know, and justifiably so. Like, we understand that, I get that, 100%. She feels the guilt of letting all her men down and so forth, and I like that a lot, and I like where they're going, where Silver Sable, Spider-Man, again, this is his problem. We talked about Peter's kind of problem. He thinks he can help everyone, and he might not just know all the problems. He didn't know what was going down with Silver Sable until you kind of really do some of these.
Mary Jane does her homework.
Yeah, Mary Jane kind of digs it up. But I like their interplay in the phone conversations in this one, where he's like, "Hi, honey, how you doing?"
Yep.
Or they're trying to have a normal relationship where they really can't, because they're both out there working in their own way. Like, she's never stopping, and he's constantly swinging around. He can't stop being Spider-Man. He can't separate the two, and it's tough for him. It's hard. Even though there's like 17 other superheroes in this city, I guess they're all just on vacation. That was so funny. Yeah, it was hilarious, Joel, when he called her that, and they had that little. But I liked where she was like, "Oh, so you are working with Silver Sable." But I like that the mid-boss fight with Hammerhead when she's in the jet.
Yeah. Yep.
Who comes and saves you? Who do we get to see? My favorite waifu. Yeah, Black Cat makes a short appearance in this game. In this DLC, in this third one. I was so happy to see her, then she kind of just leaves, and it bums me out a little bit. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I get it, because, again, more world building. You can't always have her around. You know, this is Silver Sable's story with Spider-Man. But how'd you feel of the end? Did you like the ending at all of this and what they're...
Yeah. I thought it brought some closure to it, and, you know, you get to finally kill Hammerhead. But,
well, we didn't kill... Like, he should be dead. But he, you know,
well,
comic books, he's not dead.
He should be dead.
He really should. I mean, we
They
drive
just
a fucking plane through him. Like, he should be dead.
Yeah.
But he's not. And there's a freaking laser that he survives too, which is crazy.
A laser. Yeah, I think the second one was my favorite ending. The Yuri.
Yeah, Yuri just murdering. Well, we thought murdering.
Yeah. Well, she did.
I guess Hammerhead is really Black Cat because he has like 9 lives. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
He's constantly alive.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good ending, and I like how she kind of gave. I liked that end, which is something I totally would do with Silver Sable. I would go in for the hug, and I love where she's like, "I don't do hugs," and he's like, "Well, can you at least give me a lift back, you know, back over? I can't swim." With these on, it'll get dirty. It'll get dirty. I love that. That was totally something I would totally say and do. Is I would try to get a hug from her. Because I really loved their interaction. I loved her little smirk, too, where she finally kind of... like, she's like, oh, you're a child. And he is. You know, he is in a lot of ways. He's the jokester. And I liked how she finally kind of started to understand it, though, a little bit. See where he was coming from. And that he was just trying to help out a little bit. I'm hoping to see a lot more of these characters in the next game, though. Like, I'm really... And I'll explain how in a bit. But there's one character we didn't talk about that was throughout this whole DLC in the background. And that's Miles.
Miles Morales.
Miles. Yeah. And what's happening to Miles, JJ?
He just wants to be Spider-Man, bro. He wants to go on spider missions.
Yeah, and Peter's going to teach him how to be Man-Spider.
No.
And the ending scene for this one was him getting his web shooters. You know, and
falling to his death.
Yeah, falling to his death. Spoiler. Like, very much so.
I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, he's not dead. Of course not. But,
I'm sure.
You know, this is a really unique thing where they kind of threw Miles into the main game. And he's not from another universe. He just exists here. It's just Miles, you know? And you see his whole storyline and what happens with his Faja. And it's really nice. Do you like how they set that up here in this, where they continued it and you get to see Pete kind of being the big brother, you know?
Well, I think it's necessary I thought it was necessary to keep having Miles. Because... Yeah,
because, I mean, like you said, with Aunt May, anything can happen now, man.
Yeah, you know, they can... Who knows if they will, but they could kill off Peter.
Yeah, I mean, they seriously can, and it seems like they want to pass the torch to Miles sometime. I don't know when, but eventually they want to pass the torch to him. But I think these first couple of games at least might be Pete's moment to shine for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't kill off Peter Parker right away, man. Come on.
Well, that's what I would have thought. You can't kill off Aunt May, right? What do they do, bro?
Well,
holy fuck. I guess you can.
I think the writing was good for that, though. I mean, if you kill Peter, it better be not just...
what happens to MJ as well? Where does she go?
She goes to Symkaria, man. And
she goes to Silver Sable's home. So, that... She could be killed off, too.
I could cheat on her now.
He could... And that was the idea that I gave JJ yesterday. I was like, he's got a free pass to bang Black Cat now. Like, he can go have fun, but I think he's very much considered. I'm wondering if Gwen Stacy even exists in this universe, and I'm hoping...
I thought she did. I'm
hoping she does. I think one of the, what's it called? One of the backpack items had her emblem in it or something. It had, like, something from her. I don't know. I don't know if it was like a diary or something. I don't remember exactly, but I think she is mentioned. But I want to see more of Gwen and what they do with Gwen. If they kill Peter, they better not cop out. I think they will, though, and I'll explain in a second, Joel, what they probably can do for Spider-Man 2 and 3. With the recent rise of Spider-Man again, which he kind of never went away, but he's hugely more popular than ever now. With Tom Holland playing him, with the Spider-Verse movie, with the video game, like he never went away. There was always video games and movies and shit, but the movies are at their peak now, in my personal opinion. So it's really interesting that, you know, maybe they kill off MJ. What do you think, JJ? I mean, she's going to a super dangerous fucking place.
Yeah.
She ain't no Chloe or Nadine from Uncharted Lost Legacy, I tell you that.
She's better.
Oh! Damn. I'm going to tell Chloe that.
Go ahead. She's no Elena, bro. Elena's the greatest video game woman ever.
You think that's a possibility, though?
Well, yeah.
Like, I mean, her going, like, they could easily interwove that he feels guilty about that, Black Cat feeding off that, you know, easy.
I don't know if it's going to be a Black Cat thing, but...
No, I don't think so, but he could, like,
Miles,
she could be interlaced in the story, is what I meant.
I think that could help advance the story of Miles, where Peter is just going to go be reckless. He's all emotionally distraught, and then Miles has got to be like, you gotta say
Peter being a man spider.
Green Goblin's going to try to kill us.
It's going to be... Well, it also could weave in what was at the... She's no Lara Croft. Yeah, I got you, Joel. She could even weave in... They could even weave in, I should say, that too. Like Mary Jane dying, and then Harry being super pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you let her go? Why did you let her die? Because in a lot of ways, he's in love with her too. You know? Well, at least in previous comments, they don't really specify in this one.
Yeah, I don't know what Harry's motivation is in this one.
Yeah, we don't really know. We just know that he's very, very sick, and something is feeding off him right now, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go with
Venom. Yeah, I don't know what they're... Mary Jane is a very possible candidate. Like you said, she's in a dangerous country. This is I hope not. I like her a lot.
I'm with you. I don't think... Oh, shit. I fucked up.
Ah! You suck.
I fucked up. Oh, wait, no, we're good. We're good. We're Gucci.
Recovery.
We're Gucci. But it's really interesting if they go that route. So, overall, JJ, would you recommend this DLC, like, DLC to everyone?
Yeah.
The three main DLCs?
If you played through the Spider-Man game, yes.
Okay.
If you're just getting into the Spider-Man game, yes, I recommend it.
I definitely think you should play the main game first, and if you like the main game, you should definitely snag this up. Maybe wait till a discounted price. They're all out now, so it's the best way to play it and experience it. You don't have to wait, 3 months in total now. You can just play it all back to back, and I think that's the best way to experience this game.
Because you wouldn't be like me and like, what happened? Oh yeah.
Yeah, where we kind of forgot some moments a little bit.
Yeah, They're released since frickin' October of the first one, so. And Black Cat, to me, I'm just not obsessed with Black Cat as like you are.
As I am, yeah. Black Cat's one of my favorite characters. I love.
She doesn't do it for me as much as you.
I loved her in Spider-Man 2, and she's almost in like every Spider-Man game there is, and I loved her being in the game, following her around, chasing her. It's always been one of my favorites because I always really like Felicia Hardy, because what do I always say on the channel, fellas? Blondes have more fun. They just do.
She's not blonde, though.
Statistically proven.
She has white hair.
Well, when she's in her Black Cat suit. But when she's out of it, when she's Felicia Hardy, she's blonde hair, blue-eyed girl.
They don't have more fun, I don't think, though. They're dumber.
But what didn't you like of the DLC before we go into what we want to see in Spider-Man 2?
I thought
Yeah,
some
she's
of
a
it
straight
was,
rip-off of Catwoman, 100%, Joel.
I thought some of it was a little repetitive. I don't like doing the missions in the street, like having to stop the crimes. I thought they needed to pop up quicker for me.
Yeah, just to kind of get the last suit too. Like you have to 100% it to get the last suit.
Yeah.
Which is kind of no fun because there's nothing else to do.
Well, that's the thing
Like-
is, like I have a lot more. I guess I could do New Game Plus.
Yeah, we can't. Well, for sure, definitely wanna. We might do that on stream one time here. Same thing with God of War. I kind of want to do that. But we did good there, fellas. What I really didn't like is some of the inconsistency of it. Like the story, like there was maybe one side mission. What's up, Derek? There was one side mission pretty much in the DLC, and that's what I'm going to talk about in Spider-Man 2, what they can improve on for sure, is definitely the side missions in this game. The side missions are overall kind of, just there. They're just kind of fluff. They're kind of basic. There are a lot of simple fetch quests usually. They're nothing too deep, and I have some ideas that we're going to discuss in Spider-Man 2 and 3, even the third game. I kind of have ideas of the third game. Because I think, like Joel said earlier, if they do kill Peter, don't cop out. But they're going to cop out, Joel. They're 100% going to fucking cop out. And I know how to do it. I know how to do it right. But the overall, I think it was overall a little short for maybe the price. I don't know. How much are they separately? Like $10? That's not too bad.
I don't know.
That's not too bad, I should say. Good to see me playing Batman again. Yep. Yeah, Derek. Totally Batman. But it's really interesting what they really built here, and I like the world building they're doing, because that's the biggest story in this. The whole game is big world building, a big setup of a massive amount of great games coming out for Spider-Man. In my opinion, or Marvel, hopefully Marvel games in general. They talked about how this was their Iron Man, and I kind of believe it. I really feel like this game is awesome, Derek, for sure. I really believe, hopefully the other studios take Insomniac's example by storm and make a great story for their Marvel characters that they get to use. I'm really excited to see where that goes. But overall, the game is, like, the DLC is very solid in my personal opinion because of the story alone. But there's some things they could do better, like some of the, they could have added a couple more, I would like to see a couple more, like, baddies here and there, but I understand. Like, in my personal opinion, Spider-Man didn't need any DLC. The game is so damn good, but I understand it. It was really cool, some things that you probably couldn't fit in the main story, and that's kind of what these DLCs are. That's what they kind of go. Yeah. They just add, like I said earlier, to the cake. Like, the cake is already full of toppings, they just add more toppings to the cake.
What kind of cake do you eat, bro?
The one that gives you diabetes.
You keep saying cake and toppings, and I never ice cream I put toppings on. Pizza.
True. That's also true.
Cake, I never. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, there's a lot of, maybe I'm mixing it up. Maybe I'm thinking ice cream. Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I'm hungry, Doug. Right? But let's talk about future and what they're building. What do you want to see in Spider-Man 2, JJ? Just from this little sample of DLCs here, where do you want to see Miles go? What do you personally want to see? What was your dislikes with the main game?
I didn't dislike a lot with the main game, to be honest with you.
I know you really loved it, but I got quite a few ideas that I'm ready to spew.
Well,
I want to hear your
I'm
take on it.
anxious. I'm anxious to see what they do with the whole Harry in a presumable Venom vat thing. What Norman does, you know, those the two big Osborn storylines. You know, do they keep it at stat quo? Do they change up things a little bit?
Yeah, because he has the symbiote eating him right now or living off him. Doesn't mean he's gonna be Venom. But in Ultimate Spider-Man, he is Venom for a little bit.
So,
you know, Eddie Brock is not Venom, and you know they're kind of mixing all the universes together. Like we said, you know, Miles is just here, just hanging out. What's up?
Yeah.
You know what it do? And you kind of see he's kind of like the new Peter in a lot of ways. He's the 15-year-old kid that we don't know. That he's learning to grow up in this world really quick, learning to be Spider-Man really quick.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what they do with Miles, if he's going to be more... He was he was a playable character.
He was, like for a little bit.
Yeah. He was more like a gadget guy. But,
he was very much, his missions were kind of very much Mary Jane-like in a lot of ways. You know, he was just, you know, keep quiet, I'll be there. But that Rhino one was intimidating as shit. That was pretty cool.
I'm anxious to see the MJ to Sincaria. What happens with that? Yeah,
like, I wonder if they're just going to fast forward that, you know, she's, you know, back and fine. And, you know, I made it, asshole. Yeah. Stop banging Black Cat.
Leave? Can you not cheat on me for like 1
Yeah,
second?
just stop it.
You were separated.
And I was gone for 2 days. That's too long, baby.
You know how my metabolism is.
But I like, God, I lost my train of thought what I was going to say a little bit, but it's going to be interesting how, like you said, how they handle that situation there, and how they handle all of this. But some of my ideas, what I didn't like about the main game was like the side quests. There's one side quest I really loved in this game, and that was Tombstone side quest, because it was a huge surprise. And all the side quests need to be like that. You know, not simple go to point A to B, collect pigeons and shit like that, you know? Or
that
sprinkle...
was an homage, though. That was paying homage to one of the other games.
That's fine, but I'm talking about going forward. You know, they did things good, but there's better games this year that set the bar above. And I believe this game can get there, or through it. Easy. Sorry, I had to drink some water there. What I would have idea is have a lot of the missions like Tombstone. Take a lot of cues from Red Dead in the sense of, for example, Chapter 1 in Spider-Man 2, you play it like very much like the opening, you know, you open the map up a little bit. You do the first story mission, and then you can kind of free roam a little bit. What if there's like an icon right from the get-go, and it's fucking Rhino? And you have to fight Rhino, and Rhino kicks your ass. And it's like, fuck. Rhino kicked my ass. And the icon goes away. It's like, okay, that's weird. Why did it go away? Chapter 2 comes around. It pops up again. Maybe you get to fight Rhino a little bit. You dent him up, but he still hands you your ass. And then what? You know, icon goes away. That's complete. Mission complete. What if in Chapter 3 you get a little help? You know, Hell's Kitchen's here. You see Matt Murdock. You talk to Daredevil. Daredevil helps you defeat Rhino, etc., etc. I think that's how you handle this situation. Take a cue, like Derek says, because he says this is Arkham. Take a cue from Arkham. All the side missions were villains in that game. And I think you need to do that, but sprinkle a little Red Dead there. Make it throughout the whole game. You know, it's not just one thing. It's a really cool interactive experience. It's not like, oh, I just fought Shocker, he's gone. I don't see him the rest of the game. You know, it's like Shocker won't shut the hell up and he won't stop doing what he's doing, and then we finally kick his ass at the end. You know, stuff like that. With maybe a little help from Black Cat or Silver Sable, some intertwining characters. Maybe we see Lizard. What do you think of that? Do you like that idea at all?
It's alright. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it is a Spider-Man game. Like you want them to team up with all these. They're setting up the Spider-Man universe, not the Marvel universe yet. I think that is a thing coming.
Well, they kind of did a little
nothing.
bit, like you said. Like it's, you know, they have Wakanda Embassy, they have Avengers
they
Tower,
give
they
you
have Doctor
they
Strange's
give you
Tower.
locations. I think they are gonna. I think it's more gonna be like it would be an Avengers game with this Marvel or with this Spider-Man in it than a Spider-Man game with.
Yeah, with them
Marvel.
in it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But I'm sure there's some characters they can use. They could use like
No,
you know
you could-
Daredevil and stuff. Like he's there.
You know,
He's
and I
not.
don't know-
I'm sure he's
and
not
there's-
super expensive to get the
Yeah,
rights
I don't
to.
know what the. I think what Disney owns Daredevil now. Sony
I think
owns Spider-Man.
Disney pretty much owns all the properties.
They own everyone but Spider-Man. Right?
Yeah, Spider-Man's the one they let Sony let them borrow, and Venom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
maybe right, but maybe you know, maybe not. Maybe Wraith. Maybe we do a mission with Wraith, and Wraith
no,
helps
yeah.
you beat
Well, they set,
Rhino's
they
ass
set
and
that-
stuff.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Though, you know, I like the Shotgun mission. I like the Tombstone mission. I'm with you.
Like
on
I
the
didn't
third
hate
one.
them. Like
It's
they're
tedious.
good,
It's
but there's a
tedious.
lot of that isn't like that. A lot of it's just kind of like fetch quest. And believe me, just doing a game of Final Fantasy 15 were nothing but fetch quest, and it was literally A and B. I'm not saying everything in Spider-Man was like that. Tombstone mission was awesome. It came out of nowhere. I was shocked, and it was awesome. It was one of the best highlights of this game. But I think you can, like I said, you could do it better. Like, you could do it better. This game can improve tremendously, JJ. You know, like, it's not like God of War where I'm like, I don't know what you really can do with God of War. God of War's fucking awesome. like Spider-Man, there's a lot of stuff. Horizon, same thing. Horizon, there's a lot to work on in Zero Dawn still. Great game, but there's stuff that can take it over the top. Like, you know, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm super biased about Spider-Man. This is definitely the best Spider-Man game ever, in my personal opinion. But I think if you do the missions like that, I think it'd be a lot better. It'd be a lot cooler. Because you find yourself caring a lot more, too. Where we're not just, you know, we're not forgetting in a few months, you know, like, what was the side mission in that DLC and so forth? You know, it would mean a little bit. Can you even tell me the pigeon guy's name? You don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think he's in the comics quite a bit.
But yeah, he was. I think you're right. But it wouldn't be a problem if you really got to interact with him. He was just kind of a voice, and you didn't really get to see. But it'd be cool if they kind of did that, in my personal opinion. And if they do have the balls to kill Spider-Man in 2, the third game, I think it's easily could be Miles' game, and it could be the Spider-Verse. You can go back in time and fix what's done, or try to do that. And maybe he'll find out in reality you can't really do what's undone.
Don't fuck with time, bro.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that? I mean, that's two good steps for Spider-Man 2 and 3, in my opinion. Like, what would you want to see? Do you... Spider-Verse was hugely popular. You saw it. You said it was the best Spider-Man movie ever. You think it's
great.
You think I don't think they're gonna do it in the second one. Third game, possibly.
No, I think they gave you all the costumes already, so it's kind of like I don't think they ever go like universal. The only idea you had that I could see it with that is if trying to bring Peter Parker back if he dies or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be their cop out if Joel wanted one. They know how bad Joel wants a cop out. But
I think they will for sure. If they do kill Peter, I think they bring him back. Or try to anyway.
I'd like to see more. Yeah, I'd like to see more villains in the side quest area. Like, just there's so many B villains in Spider-Man. He is the Marvel equivalent to Batman. There's just so many. He has so many B villains that you could fill a fucking like Screwball, even the Screwball. Taskmaster being in it.
Yeah, that was
They
a
had
fun
bunch of
mission
villains.
too. That was really well done too in the main game, where it was like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting to see Screwball. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that could be done well, and I don't think it's a bad idea. But so you don't have to be Rhino. But that would be cool if they started
Yeah.
out like that. Like you start the game, there's a mission, and then it's like, you know what? I really kind of want to finish doing that mission during the end. You know, not just for a fucking trophy, because you know you and me are gonna platinum the game anyway. But I think that'd be really cool, and the intertwining. I'm sorry, like maybe Silver Sable and Black Cat, some other people to help you during those side missions. I think that would be really fun. I think that'd be really smart because, again, there's flaws in this game. Like this game's not perfect by any means. This is not God of War. This is not Red Dead level of execution. It's great execution. It's a great start. But like I said, this is Uncharted 1, man. This ain't Uncharted 2. This is not where they took it a step above yet. And they're going to. I personally believe they're going to, at least in my opinion. I know you really love this game, and I do too. I absolutely adore this game, but there's things to be worked on, in my personal opinion.
I mean, you want to talk about shitty quests, let's talk about shoveling shit then, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying that has to mean anything to you. I know you didn't like that a lot. And I'm not comparing this to Red Dead. Like, you can't compare this game to Red Dead. But I liked how the side missions in that game had a lot of meaning. And there's a lot of those quests that you don't see again until the 5th chapter, which is really cool. Which is really interesting where you go back and you're like, oh shit, you're okay. Like, you're okay. Like, where you go help out the Braithwaite girl or whatever.
Yep.
You know, like, and then your stupid horse runs in front of the train and dies. But it was cool to see that Romeo and Juliet kind of make it and survive a little bit. And that was really cool how there was like 5 missions between all like 6 chapters, you know. I think Spider-Man, not just Spider-Man, all games, all open world games that are trying to emulate that, you know, they could do that better. They could do it. They should take a cue from Rockstar, who set the standard. I'm not saying Spider-Man to go shovel shit or anything like that, but I think it'd be a really interesting idea. I want to know what you guys think down below, because I think JJ understands what I'm saying, but I don't know if he really gets what I'm saying.
No, I do. I get what you're saying.
But who, like, villain-wise, who do you want to see in the next one that was kind of missing out or hinted at in this one?
Well, you got the Venom type. They kind of set that up, like you said. Wraith is set up. I'm anxious. They didn't really set up Green Goblin, but
yeah, I'm wondering if that's gonna get there.
You had the helmet in the office, and
he was building it, or for sure.
Yeah,
but it could still be hairy. Still in a lot of ways, like
there's hints at it. It's, you don't know what's gonna happen there. So I don't know. They put a lot of B villains. I mean, you had the Vulture, and you had Shocker, and Electro.
There's a lot for me I want to see still. They hinted at one in this game in Silver Lining, and that was Lizard. I want to see Lizard. I would like to see Mysterio. Mysterio would be a fun one. He could be a nice side villain. Where he doesn't have to be the main villain. He could just, you know, be in a side mission. What I'd like
for them to do is kind of do what they did with Mr. Negative. I would like to see them do that kind of thing with Mysterio.
Oh, okay. You wanted to be a little bit deeper, where he's part of the main. Okay, cool.
I've always loved Mysterio. For whatever
yeah, I always
liked
Mysterio too, even though he's kind of a joke character.
Yeah.
Another one that they hinted at in the main game was Chameleon.
Yeah.
You know, and it ended up being a fucking fat ass in a suit.
Yeah.
You know, and like that really hyped me up, and I think they did that on purpose, clearly, which was really smart. Really, really smart how to do that. Like, it makes you think one thing, but it's not that thing. I want to see Chameleon. I would like to see some others. Let's they could bring some other spider people. Maybe it's too early to do that. Besides, because keep Miles, you know, they could do Silk. They could do a whole bunch of stuff. Wraith can technically be part of the spider family, even though she's not spider. But then maybe they intertwine her part of it. Like, but there's still a ton of villains they could use. Kraven, I would love to see Kraven the Hunter. I don't remember hearing anything about Kraven in the main game.
No, they mentioned Mysterio like when you do the backpacks and whatever.
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't think they mentioned Kraven though. I would like to see Kraven. Because I think you're right. I think they're gonna do Mysterio next. I think Mysterio, he might be a bigger part, and maybe Doc Ock comes back too because he's not done.
Yeah.
Even though he's old as shit in this game.
99 years old.
Yeah, he's like 73 or some shit. But any other improvements? Anything else you wanted to see?
I'm anxious to see what new gadgets they add. I think they could even expand on that. There's a lot of I think that was my favorite part of the screwball missions is how they get you to kind of think outside the box.
To use ones you probably wouldn't use.
Where they try to get you and to put them together, like, hey, if you do this and then this, and it was kind of neat. So, you know, obviously you're gonna have everyone wants the black suit Spider-Man. But
do you want Miles to be incorporated some way where you want to play as him more, like as Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think they could do more missions where you're not necessarily playable, but like an NPC with like they did with Black Cat, or even Mary Jane, where she'd be like, "Hey, go here," and where you could you guys could be working together.
Because in the main game, they almost hinted at her being Spider-Woman, which was really cool if they would have went that route. Because she almost got bit by the spider. It ended up being Miles.
But yeah, there's a lot they can do, man. Spider-Man has such a rich history that...
It is, yeah. Like, you're right about that. He has a big history. They could do a lot of different stuff. The gadgets, I think, is a great idea, too. The suit powers. Another thing I was kind of disappointed with the DLC is the new suits don't have suit powers.
No, they didn't.
They're just skins. Like, suit powers would be really fun. Like the commando suit I'm wearing, the bionic commando, like cyber spider suit I'm wearing, like him having a gun or something, or shooting a missile or some shit. Like, it'd be cool. The cyborg Spider-Man. I'm sorry. That's such an obscure costume. It's so cool to see it.
Yeah, they put quite a few costumes in this game, man.
So a lot of people, like you and me, JJ, really enjoyed this DLC. Do you just want Spider-Man 2? This is a question I should ask. Do you just want Spider-Man 2? Or do you want to see a 4th, 5th, 6th DLC, another Season 2 to Spider-Man?
I think I'd rather them focus on the main game. Get a really good main game going in the next 3 years, 4 years, whatever, however long it takes. They already got
They're probably working on it already, I guarantee it.
Yeah. You know, I'm anxious to see this or the Square Enix Avengers game.
I'm hoping that turns out good, because Square, I'm a huge fan of Square, but they have royally fudged up a lot lately. Especially with one of my favorite series of all time, Final Fantasy. So I hope they can do things right.
See what they can do with that. Because it's supposed to be... This is supposed to be the Iron Man of the Marvel gaming universe.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they talked about it a lot, that it was... I said it earlier as well. I definitely could see it. Like I said, I hope they take a cue from Insomniac and put a much love and care into this, into their whatever game they're doing.
Yep.
You know, as they did with Insomniac did with Spider-Man, because it was great. It was not poorly done. It was well executed. It was really done overall well. Yes, there's some things they could do better. Like I said, the side quests for me personally. Intertwine some of that rich history you have. Make some really great side quest content, some side stories. You know, again, it doesn't have to be Rhino, Scorpion, or anything. It could be the other characters, but you know, throw Black Cat with you, throw Daredevil with you, throw some other people with you. I think it'd be really awesome. Like, it'd be really, really good.
Yeah.
I am with you 100%. I think they need to not do any more DLC. Because I feel like they probably want to do a lot more than they had time to. Because these are pretty quick. Very cool, though. I mean, they were fun. I was really excited about them. JJ and I were super excited. We appreciate all you guys being here. And, you know, watching our Spoilercast and everyone that's going to watch it later on. Like, we really appreciate that. We're definitely excited where they can go with Spider-Man. But I'm with JJ. I think it's to call it quits now. Like, it's, let's wrap things up here. You did a great season of DLC. Let's work on the main game. Let's have some fun with that. Let's tell another great story just like this one, but even better. Like, even better. And I'm really impressed with Insomniac, how they treated the character with such love and respect. My favorite character of all time, next to Wolverine. Well, him and Wolverine are my two favorites. I always say it all the time, but they are. And
typical 90s kid.
Yeah, like, I just remember watching those cartoons back to back, and then crossing over a lot. And they used Wolverine all the time. He always called Storm and Wolverine. So it'd be cool to see Storm and Wolverine in this game, but probably won't happen. But
he's in a Spider-Man game before.
It would be cool to see Wolverine. See, like, I don't know how it works. I'm sure it's the same way as the movie universe. I'm sure they have to ask the rights to borrow those characters and stuff. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 2. DLC was really fun. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll have a spoiler cast. We only did an hour and 22, JJ. We did really good. We'll be doing a before New Year's. You know, the New Year rings in. We'll do a end of year thoughts and what we're looking forward to 2019 gaming wise or anything in general. But I love my cousin JJ very much. Thank you so much, JJ. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah.
But we'll drag JJ back on, and we'll get probably Chad and Steve to hop on here. But I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. If you guys are out on vacation and you don't see the channel anytime soon, I hope you have a Happy New Year. Definitely come back to the channel. We're having a lot of fun here. And stay tuned for more live streams and Spoilercast. And sorry about yesterday not live streaming. I was really worn out. And I played a lot of Smash Bros. Played a lot of Smash Bros. And I got some new goodies in 2K that I wanted to use a little bit. So, but your fellow StraussMan, the GG, JJ, we're outie.